what a trip. It's all kind of a bit of a blur, really. It's all the days are sort of melded into one another with all the international travel and what have. Highlights for me, I have to say, seeing Boeing and going through the manufacturing plant there, but also the Jaguar Land Rover Design Centre and seeing that concept to reality, all the stages that those engineers go through to create a finished product. For me, what am I going to get out of this trip, and what are students going to get out of this? It's just a case of just seeing what the end product is. You know, we're inspiring students in schools to engage in STEM education, and it's just really good to see the end product of that, where employment for them can end up, but on a global scale. If we can inspire kids to continue doing the great work they are in schools, I see no reason why they can't be employed at places like this in the future. So, yeah, not long to go now, we're almost home. Thoroughly looking forward to sharing some of the stories when I get back.
So on this trip, I've seen firsthand how industries use maths and science and these subjects that we learn in school, and it's until now that I kind of realise that it's important that we do focus and learn in class and stuff, because they are important and we do use them in real life situations.
Cool. So from this STEM trip this year, it's really opened up my eyes to the opportunities that we have and what we have the opportunity to do. So with this trip, we get to do things that you don't normally get to do when you go for a trip. So I got to visit the Ford factory. Like, you're never going to do that if you're just going with your family. I got to go to the Hadron Collider. You're never going to do that if you go with your family. I got to learn how to be more independent, just travel around on my own with help from Michael. But all around, it's an amazing experience. Really recommend it.
And to further on from that, like there are plenty of places that we've been to that have stood out. In particular for myself, Boeing stood out as one of the best places we went to overall. Not particularly because I love planes, but more the fact that when you look at the productivity going on in the Boeing factory and how quickly they roll off new planes straight out the door to all the airlines, it's just it's pretty amazing how they keep doing that day in, day out. So, and you know, overall the entire trip has really, as Matt said, it's been an eye-opener to basically allow me to see how businesses and companies work in the workforce in the real world. Places like Mercedes and Boeing and those sorts, and how they use productivity to make their product.
It was really interesting to go to all the factories, the Ford factory, the Jaguar Land Rover factory, the Mercedes factory. I really didn't have any idea of the scale that these businesses have to work with. And it was so interesting to see how things were put together in the factory sense, but also, you know, to divide that through every little bit of the car and how it's designed and how it's engineered and how it's then put together in the line and with the robotic machinery and just the way the factories are set up and the access that they gave us. Looking at the testing for the wear and tear and the tearing down of the vehicles, it was something that I really didn't know too much about, so I found that was incredibly interesting, and as a teacher it's great to have those reference points and be able to refer to them in my teaching. I really enjoyed the Farnborough Air Show. That again gave me the idea of scale and how, you know, there was one little exhibition that sold connectors, so electronic connectors, and that's a $6 billion a year company. It hires 40,000 people, and really that was one exhibit in amongst hundreds and hundreds. So yeah, terribly interesting.
The best thing about the trip for me was some of the surprising places we went, including Autodesk, seeing how their technology is really evolved and how it's used for such unique and really cool things. And Boeing, of course, was spectacular, really. It was just really interesting to see all the things they did with big jumbo jets lined up in a huge warehouse. And of course, Mercedes was very interesting, seeing how the robots were programmed to manufacture the car body. That was quite interesting.
For me, the best bits of the trip were the Ford factory, the Mercedes factory and the Hadron Collider. These were way more interesting for me than software companies like Autodesk and Google, which were slightly underwhelming. But yeah, I really recommend this trip to anyone who loves science and technology.
The trip was amazing. Like, every single part of it was just fantastic, and I loved every part of it. It covered so much stuff, and it's really hard to decide on which one was the best. But if I had to choose, it'd have to be the Smithsonian Institute museums and stuff in Washington DC, because there was just so much knowledge that we could take in, and I learned so much from those museums. And on the other side of the spectrum, I really love Boeing though, just to see all the technology and all the industry involved in manufacturing what we use so commonly in these days. And I would love to go on this trip again. It's simply amazing. Can't describe it.